All right, welcome to the third episode in the C++ 2D game development series that I'm putting up on YouTube for all of you to enjoy and follow along and contribute and all that jazz. It is it is something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I am just getting into it now. So please hit that like button and that subscribe, and we'll continue on. My goal is to keep short videos, but as I move forward, it might not be as easy as that. So today we are creating the room. If you remember from the previous episode, episode 2, we went through a planning stage where we thought that the best way to start would be at the room. So that's what this episode is. It is creating the room class. Now this is a beginner tutorial for the beginners. But you should still have an understanding of what C++ is. So I will swiftly move over topics like what a class is for people who are already knowledgeable in that aspect. We are creating a room class because classes are objects, and in C++ it is an object-oriented programming language, so it uses objects as containers of data that you can access and manipulate for your game, for your program. So if you think of a room as an object, we want to create an object, a room object, and then inside that object we could have variables of data that contain the size of the room. It can contain how many exits to the room, where the key will be located, how many walls maybe, how many enemy spawners, all sorts of things. It is an object that holds a lot of information about the room itself. That's what we want to create. To create objects, C++ uses the class keyword. This episode will be creating the class itself. And in Visual Studio, if you're following along using this one, it's very simple to create. If we go to our Solution Explorer, and if we right click on the project itself, about halfway down we'll find this Add menu. And we can go to the bottom of that, and there's class. We're going to add a class. Adding a class is easy like this. We just give it a name, and since it is a room, we'll be able to call it room. It is going to create two files for us. It's going to create the header file, that is the room.h, and it is going to create the source file, which is room.cpp. After you've named it, whatever you want it to name, whatever object it is, hit the OK, and it generates the two files for you with code in it already, so that it is the basic form of a class. That's how you create a class using Visual Studio. If you were not using Visual Studio and you were just using a text editor, you would just end up creating a room.h file and a room.cpp file. The h file will have the declarations for the class in it. That means it's going to declare all your variables and all your functions, and then the room.cpp is what implements all those declarations. That tells you what the functions do, what they should do, how it manipulates the rest of the object. Those are the two files that you would create and stick them in your folder. And then it is that simple to create a room class, a room object. In the next episode, we are going to tell the main function that we need to create a room and use this object. I will get that. That will be in the next episode. So make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and stick around because we got lots to cover.